one. Hey, go for it, buddy, don't ya?
Hello everyone and welcome to Counter's Hyper Roll Casual Competition. Today we'll be doing 5 rounds of the Hyper Roll mode. And don't worry, many of our contestants are eligible for the casual prizing. This means that they may be able to get a little legend's egg and RP. And this is just for people who are playing. It's not just for the winners, but if you join one of our competitions, you are eligible for one of these prizes. We are playing on the EUW, that's the European servers. And yeah, enjoy the show. We have many contestants, exactly 17, so enjoy the show. We have a lot of great players tonight.
Gosh, what an intro. I mean, fantastic job there. I'm feeling hyped myself, yes. We've got ourselves a good amount of players. I think the exceptionally awkward number of 17, but it's wonderful to have. Thank you for the follow, Hoss, as well. We'll be getting things kicked off in just a second. So, Army, as you mentioned already, we are going to the Hyper Roll game mode, which means the rules, they're not quite the same as they were before. In fact, I think I'm going to have to go remind myself as to what all the differences are, because there's a lot going on in Hyper Roll. There's not any traditional leveling. You don't pay to level up, you just kind of go up naturally as if you weren't never buying XP. You get extra gold for winning. You don't have any win or loss streaks as well. And there's no interest, so you can spend all your money all the time and have a grand old time that way. So hopefully we'll have a good time today. I don't know, I mean, have you played any Hyper Roll yourself?
Oh, yes, I did. And actually, I think 2 competitions ago, I joined in for the Hyper Roll.
Ooh.
It was fun but stressful because it was the first time I played it myself. And I completely forgot the rules, so you'll have to remind me on the way we go through. You know, I got short memory loss, but I'm excited for this competition nevertheless. Heck yeah.
All right. So I believe, let's see, how are our players looking? See if we can get ourselves our first lobby for today. So we're going to be using the players' streams because as of yet TFT doesn't have the spectator mode. So hopefully we can find what's going on there. So I think we're going to be jumping into lobby 3 as our most populated lobby from the stream, which has got Stybix and Yucca playing in it. But they don't seem to have started quite yet, so I will see if they are being held up by anything. Okay, yes, it looks like they are missing a couple, so we might end up reverting to just 2 lobbies rather than 3, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometime. So to focus back,
Oh, I love cookies.
I mean, what's your favorite kind of cookie?
Oh, all of them, man. Oh.
Alright, so we'll see who's able to seize the cookie. I feel like there's some sort of metaphor at play there, which I'm not quite sure as to. I think probably the most confusing thing about Hyper Roll from a new player perspective, or at least a less experienced player perspective, is that you lose a set amount of health each time you lose. So whether you win by a huge margin or by none at all, you always get the same amount of damage. So you'll know when someone's about to die because the damage increases over time for each round. So early rounds you'll take just a couple of damage. Later on you'll take like 6 damage. You start with 20 total, and so not losing early rounds is pretty important, especially when you can't actually control how much, or you can't spend money to make sure that you stay a little bit safer.
Man, you're good at explaining. Can't wait to see it in action.
Alright, Stybix doesn't seem to be streaming, or at least their stream is late, so we're gonna go with a single POV. So this is Yucca. Let's get over to the game itself. Thank you for the follow.
That was me.
It was you! Ah, well, thank you for the follow then instead. All right.
Of course.
Right, so down to business. So Yucca here has got themselves a very early drop of a ribbon, which is not bad at all. So we're talking about before. You're very limited on how many units you can put out in the early going of Hyper Roll, and you don't. Ideally, you don't want to be dropping rounds because that will be, if you drop any amount of health at all, that's normally going to be like a whole round's worth of life later on when everyone starts dropping out very quickly. I mean, I don't know how much TFT you've been able to play recently, but do you have any particular preference for particular types of units or anything?
Oh god, it's been so long. I don't remember. It'll come to me in a second when I see it pop up.
Okay. Oh, is the screen share all working? Everything?
Everything is working nice and smooth.
All right. Wonderful. All right. So what have we got here? So we've got Forgotten early on, a 2-star vein for Yucca. So, and they've got Ranger in as well.
Oh, and a Ranger? Ooh.
What do you think of Rangers?
I've never tried them, but they're quite attractive. Oh, I love Gragas.
He does have a very huggable belly. Let's see, IMY. They've actually got themselves an early ribbon as well, but they've decided to play it. So they've got Dawnbringer and Lux. I think the Rangers might just be strong enough. That vein hits very hard early on.
Oh, yeah, look at... Ooh, I like his, shooty mabaki baga.
You said it. That's...
Yeah!
Well, they did buff Vayne fairly hard in over the last couple of patches, so I think there is actually something to be said for Vayne carry. Justice Slaughter, thank you for the follow as well. Though notable is we've got a lot of stuff on the bench for Yucca because you don't have to save gold in this mode. So they've actually got the capacity to put an Abomination out early on, which is that's pretty amazing because, as I said, we're really limited on the amount of units you can play. So Abomination giving you a free unit to play with. Well, there's a reason why Caligel has also gone with the same line.
I remember now. I like to go for, Abomination and Brawler. Those are the ones I always go for, so we'll see if he follows that. It looks like it. Got Brawler up there.
Oh, it's a kaiju battle as two monstrosities punch each other, but one of them's got 2 items and one of them's only got 1, and so the result seems fairly inevitable. Though, Yucca's one does put up a good fight.
Damn.
Alright, so from the early going, because as we said, this does matter early on. Threepwood, IMY, Golden Noob, and European... Sorry, no, those 3. Golden Noob, IMY, and Threepwood Monkey all have lost a couple of rounds, so it's 2 damage per round, so we can track exactly how many rounds they've lost for the time being. But that damage number will start shooting up quite dramatically as we go through the game. So Abomination was only in for 1 round, and now is back out again for the Vayne and the Forgotten, up against Swaggy Flamer, who's got themselves a solid setup based around Skirmishers and Olaf.
Dang, I've never seen anybody switch really quickly like that.
Yeah, it's generally a pretty good sign, because I know certainly for myself, I don't know about for you, but I tend to just sort of go follow one line of play throughout the entire of the game, because I'm like, well, I started doing this thing, so I might as well finish.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I do the same thing, Yeah.
But yeah, Yucca is a pretty experienced player, though, to be fair, so if you can hold 2 different kinds of play in mind and think, like, okay, which one am I going to go for? Perhaps it was actually playing against another player in Caligel, where they realized that someone else was running Abomination as well, and decided not to try and contest that, because they're spending a lot of money early on. And I think they're maybe hoping to get some solid 2 stars in, which are ideally not contested.
Well, he looks like he already got a 2-star vein being collected there. Maybe he's going for a 3-star. Do you think that's its main? His main? Oh my god, I called him an it. I am so sorry.
I just assume everyone's a they, honestly. Well, Yucca,
Respect!
like, yeah, well, Yucca's got 6 veins total now, so the 2-star on the field, 2-star on the bench as well. The only thing they're kind of missing here is that they don't really have vein items. So, yeah, vein will be really good, but I think Yucca's going to be quite reliant on finding a good radiant item that will do something for vein, or vein's going to be basically stuck with no items at 3-star, which would not be good at all.
Yeah!
So I'm just putting in some of the other names. We've got European Hobo, Stybix, the Golden Noob, and Threepwood Monkey, which is a great name. I don't know, have you ever played Secret of Monkey Island?
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's a point-and-click adventure game, which was vastly improved by having a very good sense of humor on the writing stuff, so it had lots of silly jokes in it.
Yeah, well, I'm only 4 years old, you know. I don't have a lot of experience in the tech world, games in general. But I learned TFT when I was in the fetus, so that's good enough. What item do you think he's gonna choose?
Well, we're talking about needing the items for Vayne here. So they were looking there, and none of them were good for Vayne. The only one which had any relevance for Vayne at all was the Mistral, which is the Radiant Zephyr.
Oh.
And
He powered up his Ash, though, it looks like.
well, yeah. So the Mistral gives attack speed to everybody, and also Zeke's Herald gives attack speed to your adjacent allies. So while Vayne herself has no items, she's getting buffed indirectly from 2 different directions. Alright, so what's Stybix up to? So see Stybix at the back there, with the Lux. They've got an item, they've got a carry with 3 different items specifically for them. Whereas Vayne, I don't know, she's doing a decent amount of work, but without any items for herself, I think it's always going to be a little bit limited how much of an impact she can have. Oh, so you might, this is worth bearing in mind. So we just saw what people are calling the stimmy, or the stimulus package dropping there. Basically the supply drop for Yucca meant that they just got themselves a spatula and a bunch of money, which has allowed them to get up to 3-star Vayne, which is pretty important. And also, there we go, there's Gwynsu's Rage Blade. That's a core item for Vayne in order to make her have a major impact in the field. So Yucca's hopefully going to be having a much smoother ride from here on out. Let's see, so we've got... Let's see, so we got 4 Forgotten in for Yucca right now, which is pretty good. So that's going to be an extra boost of power for the Vayne. Something that they'll probably be looking for, ideally, would be end up with a Runan's Hurricane on the Vayne to allow her to hit multiple targets. Otherwise, once we start to get to the late levels and there are lots of units around, Vayne does tend to drop off because she's very good at killing a single target, but late game you need to be able to kill multiple targets at once to be a significant damage threat.
I don't think they would want to drop Vayne so easily, though. They already got her at or him, or it, or they, at a 3-star. So, I mean, I want to get rid of a 3-star that quickly, though.
No, you're absolutely right. That is a big thing for Yucca, because they committed into the Vayne pretty early on. They threw a lot of money to find that 3-star, so this is ideally what TFT should be, which is tough decisions, because Yucca's, they are 3rd from bottom right now with IMY and Golden Noob below them. So every decision they make is very, very important for their continued survival. If they try and switch out here, they could end up with a stronger late game. But you're right, they've got a 3-star Vayne right now, so giving up on that would be extremely risky.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what have we got here then? IMY is on their last life. You can tell they are because their health bar is outlined in red. So if they lose here, they will be out of this round. We'll be playing 5 rounds today. So they'll have plenty more chances.
They deserve it.
They do? Do you know them personally?
No, but I can feel it.
Well, far be it from me to discount the feelings of my co-caster. IMY,
Damn.
you have been cursed. For whatever reason. Oh gosh. Alright. So we have reached the Raptors, which means that everybody is on level 7. There's a chance to upgrade the Misfortune here for Yucca. They are still pretty light on their carry items, in that we've got 1 item between the 2 carries of Misfortune and Vayne, but that could be about to change. Got potentially a Hand of Justice coming in, which isn't bad for Vayne at all, and the chance to choose from a recurve bow, BF sword, and needlessly large rod could actually potentially start itemizing Misfortune as well. So they went for the tier here, which is kind of interesting. So, Hand of Justice. Did they go for the tier or the... I can't remember. It's all the blur! It's a little early in the morning for me and a little late in the morning for you. So...
Oh yeah, 3:01 a.m.
Wow! Absolute madness. And Swaggy Flamer, who's the only undefeated player, is playing at Skirmishers with a fully loaded Jax. I think actually Vayne with the Hand of Justice has probably rolled damage between the 2 options, either roll damage or healing, and Vayne it was pumping out a ton.
Beat.
Yeah, the first loss for Swaggy Flamer. We saw it right here on stream. What a fantastic day to be alive.
I'm not alive.
Oh my gosh!
That's right, I'm an abomination!
Whoa! Well, I hope you've got lots of items.
Oh, but I do. I do!
Oh my gosh! This is the spookiest of timelines.
Oh, look, Garen. Oh, yes.
Oh, you're right. I think Garen would be a pretty good choice here because it does... Okay, I think I see what's going on here, though. Yucca's got 8 Threshes, so 2 stars and 2 on the bench. So I think they're very focused on trying to get that Thresh up to 3-star, but Garen would provide the magic resist shred that would let Misfortune do some decent damage as well. Got Carly Girl here, who switched those items from before over onto the Draven, but yeah, Vayne is tearing things up. Gosh. So hey, could this be a Yucca comeback?
Heck yeah. Keeping swearing to a minimum, yeah!
I appreciate you for doing that.
Oh, I appreciate you too.
Oh, actually, that reminds me.
What does that remind you of, huh?
So we've got 5 rounds today rather than the regular 3, so we're doing a little bit of work behind the scenes to bring everything together. So hopefully, shout out to Abin Rain, who's been doing all sorts of nonsense to make sure that we get through today with a minimum of fuss. We're up to level 8 now, so it's actually not that hard to be able to get into level 9 in this mode. All you've got to do is stay alive. You don't have to spend any money to get there. As Akshan, it comes in to replace our good friend Ash. And maybe... Oh, that's right. No, so the Zephyr, or Mistral, as they're known, has been sold. 3-star Thresh comes in, and it's up against Swaggy Flamer from before, with those skirmishers, Swaggy's now actually picked up a Viego, but that Viego falls prey to the power of the Vayne, who is going absolutely ham, but I think the front line is going to evaporate maybe just a little bit too fast.
And he is dead.
Oh no. Well, hopefully they'll stick around in the lobby and see the rest, because we're down to our top 3. Carly Girl, Stybix, European Hobo, and Swaggy Flamer from before. So it looks like... Oh, Swaggy actually taking another loss there to Stybix. So the top of the table is actually pretty heavily contested. We'll get a chance to scout around a bit and see what people are up to.
I like the name. Swaggy.
Yeah, Swaggy Flavor. It's a pretty great name. It's like a randomly generated name that just came out really well. Alright, so Carly Girl has just gotten up to 2-star Draven, and they've got the Garens hanging around in the middle there. They're up against Swaggy. I keep your eyes, if you're looking for where this fight's going to be determined, I'd keep an eye on where the Viego gets taken out early on. So there we go, so Draven aggroes onto Viego, and that should swing the fight, assuming everything else goes roughly even. Draven does an absolute ton of damage, but again, it looks like the front line is evaporating pretty quickly down to the last 2. Who's going to be, Army? Who's going to be?
Ooh. That was a close one. Dang.
Alright, so that puts us down to top 3. Hobo, Flamer, and Stybix. So Stybix has only got 2 health, but at this point, I think it's a difference, probably about 2 lives for 10 health, and of course 1 life for 2. Where you putting your money, Army? Who you think's gonna take it?
I always go for the underdogs, cause they're trash as I am trash, and we are all trash together, so... Stybix, my baby man, you better make it. I believe in you.
Let's see, so Stybix is stuck with their Lux carry for pretty much the whole game. Honestly, it's kind of a surprising setup here. Okay, there we go. So we finally got the changeover to being what will presumably be a Kale composition. So yeah, those items are not great for Kale, honestly.
Kale? Gross.
Well, they did buff Kale quite a lot in the most recent patch, though only really Gwynsu's Rageblade of the 3 items that are there really makes that much sense for her. So, I don't know.
Honestly, I can't really eat kale without, like, maybe cheese on it or something. I don't know, man. I just can't eat a bear.
That is the concern. Well, hopefully, Kale with her... She's got buffed HP, so hopefully she won't get eaten too quickly. At least, so for Swaggy Flamer, with the setup they've got at the moment, it's very, very front to back, with the exception of Viego, who can jump onto the back line. So, I think, actually, Stybix is going to do pretty well here. Kale's got up to full power, and it's raining down fire upon the unbelievers.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, Flea, thank you, Flea. I will absolutely make use of your POV. Very much appreciated. Actually, let's have a quick look and see. I think so. It looks like Stybix... I don't know what's going on there, why his stream's still stuck on the lobby, but we'll make use of Yurka being very kind and showing us a good POV. So Stybix, looking good. They fully itemized their Garen with a lot of mana and a lot of ability power. Let's see if they can rip the world open.
Whoa. Damn, is that 3? No, that's 2 3-stars, but damn.
Pretty feisty, huh?
I like feisty.
Let's see. So Garen's the big difference maker here. But I think, yeah, they're just going to get beaten up. Kale is still working away on the back line. But I think it's going to be the end of the line here for Stybix. Viego still stayed alive till the end there. European Hobo reaps the rewards. They'll finish out with a first place. Congratulations. Oh, they said sorry, Stybix. Ah. What a hero. And hey, look, it's a voice meter banana user. Fantastic.
Oh.
Also, weirdly enough, because there's no unranked or ranked mode per se for Hyperroll, all of our games here today are technically ranked games, because you can play them with any amount of people at any time, but they're always ranked. So, I guess we'll help someone hit hyper tier by the end of the day. Alright, we're going to come back to the camera stream. So, guys, we will take a short break. Oh, actually, wait, maybe we can... Let's see. I realized, actually, we might have some other POVs going, so let's have a quick peek and see if one of the other lobbies is still going. We are, of course, on Hyperroll, going to have some very brief lobbies anyway. Let's see. Okay, no, it looks like we are officially between rounds, so... Flinny, thank you again for that. We'll be back at 1:15, so that's in 5 minutes' time. For round number 2, we'll be running 5 rounds today. I mean, thank you for joining me so far. But we'll catch you guys after the break.
Oh, absolutely.
Jack it up.
Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to round 2 of the competition. I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's waste no time. Oh, hello. We've got more audio than we were expecting. So let's get into round number 2. So before we do, we'll just have a quick look at the past results just to catch everybody up with what's going on. So in our first lobby, MFLN won the whole thing using what looks to be Ironclad Vel'Kod's Skirmisher Revenant? I don't know, just a pile of good stuff, I suppose. In lobby 2, Robin 96, I believe, was our top ranked tournament player who was running a Kale composition. And in lobby 3, which of course we saw from before, European Hobo won the entire thing with actually ultimately relying pretty heavily on Jax, but building towards a Gwen carry as well. Gwen did just recently get buffed, so it's much more possible to have her as a actual carry now.
Dang, I like buffed women.
Well, there we go. Alright. So, I think we're going to be following Yerka for the most part, because it looks like the other stream is a little juddery. So, we'll try and get the best calls we can out of this one. Alright. So, on to business.
Already going with Sentinel, man.
Yeah, that's really good early on against Loriax, who has gone for early Hellion. I imagine Sentinel should do better, because you're getting that shield bouncing around continuously. Sentinel's really great once you've got just a couple of units remaining, because it keeps bouncing between the two of them. And when there's only 3 units on the field.
But it looks like Hellion is pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that Lulu did a lot of work there to stop Olaf from actually attacking and lifestealing. So, Ami, who is your favourite voice-acted League of Legends character?
Oh, that I don't know, but I do know that Annie is the one I hate the most.
Really? Why is that?
She's so annoying.
Let's play game.
No! Please! No!
I mean, I can understand that. That is pretty tormentful. And hey, speaking of torment, some bad news for Yucca there, as they find out co-tournament player Mythical Talon is also running skirmishes. They know Annie, thankfully.
Oh, thank God.
Now, Ami, are you the kind of player, when you realise that you're being contested, will you double down and say, nah, you get out of my way? Or are you more of a, okay, I'll just go do something else?
I'm more like, okay, I'm gonna play as hardcore as I can. I'm gonna win, but if someone else I know is gonna win, I'm like, all right, I'll keep playing. I just want to see myself lose.
Well,
that's how I work.
Intense.
If I'm gonna get angry, I'm gonna get angry, and that's fun.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So who have we got next? Let's actually start updating the scoreboard a little bit for this particular game. Let's see.
Skirmisher and Legionnaire.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual because Yoka had got the chance to go for Skirmisher and Sentinel, which is certainly the most popular, but they got a 2-star Callista. So they traded in some of that shielding and attack speed for just more reliable burst damage. And you can see they're kind of mousing over Sentinel there, wondering perhaps if it's the right move to switch over. Ooh. What about this big boy?
Oh, 2-star. Bring him in. What is he planning?
I'm not sure. This is... it looks like right now Yucca is just trying to play the strongest board they can by just, you know, by which I mean just literally just playing anything that he can 2-star. It's working okay, but I think up against Wintermelon 5, that's a great name. It definitely feels like people are using a random name generator, but we're getting some good results here today. Okay, Callista's doing well. I don't know if you've had a chance to experience the... it's suddenly been picking up a lot of popularity, the Callista Aatrox 3-star combination, which is real nasty, real nasty. Okay, let's get everyone else in here as well. So Robin 96, and Mystical Talon, and D-Wolf. So I don't know if you caught on the Discord. Apparently, there's a fair amount of people playing here today who are from Southeast Asia. So I can assume it's because while this has been conducted on the EU West server, it's the sort of the timing is pretty good for Southeast Asia. But all right, some radiant items. So, any of these catching your eye, Army?
I like the Warmog's Pride. It's one of my favorite items.
What do you like about it so much?
I just like to put it on my tanks, you know what I mean?
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So it did get nerfed, so it's got less regeneration than it used to be, but it's certainly, when you've got, if you're talking about bonus HP regeneration, and you've got 1800 extra HP, that's pretty good. Oh, what's going on here? They've put Callista in the front row. I think they're actually trying, I think Yoko's trying to get that Titan's resolve stacked faster by putting Callista in the line of fire, but the risk, of course, is that she just gets immediately murdered, which is, I think, what's going to happen here.
I mean, she wasn't immediately murdered, right? She wasn't the first one, right?
No, that's true. She did last a while, up against the very swiftly moving, I think that's Robert, 96, who I believe is joining us for the first time this one, who picked themselves up a Radiant Quicksilver, meaning that they'll have crowd control for pretty much immunity to crowd control for 30 seconds, which I think is nearly always the entire round, unless it goes to, I guess, overtime. Oh, so
This is the worst part.
What's the worst part?
Poor puppies. Getting slaughtered.
I know, it does seem a little unnecessary. Poor old puppers. They're just trying to get, they're trying to make a living. In this economy.
Trying to get food for their family.
Oh, I mean, actually, sorry, I should have asked before. Can you bump up your volume a bit? Because I realise we're probably not very well balanced.
No, man.
Oh, no.
I'll just speak closer to the mic because I was leaning back, man. I got some pain in my tum-tum, man.
Oh, no. Not your tum-tum.
My tum-tum is rumbling, man. It's telling me, no, I'm in too much pain. I can't do this. Well, suck it up. It's time to do TFT casting. Am I right?
Oh, my gosh. There's certainly, I know it's certainly a thing in casting generally that there's a kind of like a thing of being like, you've got to keep doing it even when you're feeling terrible, but definitely not the case in this context.
I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you.
Well, I appreciate that, Army.
Oh, God, and when I hear your voice, all right, let's get back to the game, you know what I mean? 22 coins.
All right, so dripping in riches is Yurka. I mean, this is something we haven't really talked about a ton for this hyper roll competition, is that while there isn't any interest coming in for the amount of gold you got, it does still matter keeping some amount of gold in the bank, because that affects your ability. You can't roll the gold you don't have later on. So if you spend all your money on hyper rolling early on, as the game most sort of suggests you should, by just the fact it's called hyper roll, then you don't have any money later on when you automatically level up to, you know, level 7, level 8 to get some of these end game units.
Or you could just buy Gucci.
Gucci? The Gucci gang?
Yes.
The most terrifying gang all around. Up against Mythical Talon now, who's got themselves, hey, they took the Warmog's Pride. And they're using it to make a very unkillable Olaf, a 3-star Olaf with Coinsus and defensive items.
Down to 2 HP. Come on, man. Gotta get. Stand back up on your feet.
Come on, Dracarys drops out as our first to die. Only the players who are playing in the tournament though will be counted for the standings, so we have top 6 or top 5 in each lobby. We're not worrying too much about who actual placement ultimately here in the casual competition, because most of the prizes are given out randomly. As a Volibear does turn up there, that's a tough one to resist. Such a good pick.
It is. Oh, poor chicken birds.
They're so chicken. Alright, so
Ooh, new items.
Ooh, alright, so what we've got, it looks like we're going to get our end game carry here, and Yucca's considering, do you put Titan's Vow on? Yes, okay, so we've got the Infinity Edge, meaning every shot Lucian will send out will crit. I don't know if that applies fully to his ultimate. I think it will apply at least partially.
Pick it. Yes! BF sword.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Alright, it's down to a final fight for Yucca. They're the lowest health remaining member. They do not have a good place for the items, so they're putting them all on Udyr. Lucian's going to get a good off here, or it's all going to be over for Yucca, who is having to deal with a lot of Hellions. But I think perhaps this time maybe Lucian is strong enough.
Damn, what is that Minecraft skin?
I've got this one as well. This is from the current Battle Pass. They've started pushing the boat out a little bit in terms of what the arenas can look like. And this is definitely my favorite arena because it looks like a Zelda map.
Oh, you like Zelda?
I like the aesthetic. I don't really play Zelda. The sound of someone expiring.
I love Zelda. I love him.
Well, it's dangerous to go alone.
Take this.
Alright, so Yucca said, take that to the world in general. They stayed alive and hit top 6. They've now got themselves a Jax, which I'm kind of surprised to see not going in here. There we go. Because that will be 2 Ironclad and also a much better item carrier than Udyr was. Up against the Wolf, who's got themselves a fierce looking Kale in that corner. If Lucian can hit those shots through, it looks like the Wolf's front line isn't quite strong enough to resist the advances.
And he made it to the next round.
What a great performance!
Fantastic, brilliant, extraordinary.
This is the best I've ever seen.
Absolutely fantastical.
So
they chose a Galio.
They sure did. Oh, and a Guardian Angel. That's really, really good for Jax because he's got that Bloodthirster to be able to heal up after he resurrects from the Guardian Angel, as well as dropping all aggro. So that's a solid 2 carry setup here for Yucca as they go to 6 Sentinel, which means they should be able to get some good work done. So a big change to Sentinel recently was that the Sentinel buff goes onto the Sentinel unit now with the most items, and if it's a tie, the most attack speed. Basically meaning, the important part of that being, that it's basically going to go on straight on to Lucian. Without having to do any of the weird shenanigans in previous patches where you had to put health on them to guarantee the shield would land there. Both Lucian and Jax in the shop. This is the
Jax,
time.
Come on. Come on, get the Jax.
Yeah.
Hey, don't try to imitate my vacuum noises. They're my vacuum noises.
Let's see if Yerka can vacuum themselves up another place here. Up against...
Wait. Back up.
Okay.
What the heck is Fiddlesticks? I love that name. What is that character?
He's a scarecrow. He's so scary.
Oh my god, I'm gonna date him.
I think, honestly, that's an excellent choice. He's a...
And he made it to the next round.
Yerka. Can anything stop his path of rage?
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know why Yucca's got a. You can see that Abomination, Revenant, and Mystic are the tags for Fiddlesticks. None of which are particularly relevant for Yucca's team, unless I'm missing something here. But 2-star Rails coming in for both Smoothie One and for Robin. A 2-star Galio as well. Looks like Robin is hitting up the Sentinels pretty hard as well. I mean, do you think Yucca makes it through another round?
I'm gonna say yes.
Up against Mythical Talent. Mythical Talent here with that really scary Olaf we saw before. 3-star, incredibly tanky. But Lucian is doing a lot of damage and actually firing past the Olaf to the back line, which means Olaf will be left by himself to take on the entire world, and he can't do that. Yucca makes it through.
Ooh. Nice.
So, Ami, we're in a lobby where everybody is left with 1 life, or indeed less, as Luxor, Smoothie One, Watermelon, and Dracarys have all been knocked out. Robin, our POV
One
Yucca.
mistake can be fatal.
It will be the end of the line. I think all of our players have got 1 life left now. Mythical Talent hits the 3-star center, and the 2-star Jax as well, so they are powering up for the final battle. We have 4 players remaining. Ami, can you call it? Who's going to take the crown in game number 2?
Oh, I'm gonna say the one we're watching right now.
You still have faith in Yucca, huh?
I do. Who do you bet on?
I think D-Wolf TFT is pretty motivated. He came in today saying he was going to prove that Southeast Asia was the superior region. So I think he'll give absolutely everything to win. And they've also got 2-star Kale. All right. This is do or die time. Mythical Talent hits the 2-star action as well. We're headed for a full-on collision.
So excited.
Here we go. It's D-Wolf against Yucca. My guess against yours. Let's see who's right.
I can hear the Tetris music playing.
Kale surviving for a long time, and that means she's powered up. Lucian's backed into a corner. Jax is still alive, but no! Yucca is gone. D-Wolf remains victorious. But we're not done yet. There's still 2 players left. It's D-Wolf against Robin.
It's over.
Is it over for you?
It's over for me.
I understand. I don't know if anyone can stand up to this 2-star Kale, joined now by a 2-star Volley Bear as well. Coming in like a ton of bricks. It's one last fight. Boop, 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 boop,
I
boop.
agree.
Look at that bounce house going on in the middle of the map. Ribbon's been thrown into a corner, but it's all down to this Draven. Down to the bottom right-hand corner. Can he get enough damage through before the Kale goes crazy? It doesn't look like it will be. D-Wolf from Southeast Asia takes the lobby. All right. Great job there, D-Wolf TFT. You got a big win. But the tournament's far from over. we've got ourselves 3 more rounds before we're done here today. So stick around, gentle friends. Yes.
I'm gonna give birth.
Army might not be able to stick around for the whole thing because it's ridiculous o'clock there in America. But we shall return in, let's say, 5 minutes time. So that's going to be at, what will that be, 43? Yeah. We'll see you guys in around 5 minutes.
See ya.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out.
Alright guys, we're gonna come back a little bit earlier because we've got ourselves a game which is still ongoing. Should have checked beforehand. It's Stybix. Oh wait, I think it just finished. Never mind.
I mean, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, so we'll have a slight delay on the next rounds being posted because I think we've had a couple of people who've had to run off for other IRL things coming up, so we might be switching to just a 2-lobby system. So while we do, I was hoping I could maybe pull on your experience, Ami, as a person who engages in, as we've already established, some fantastic voices.
No, I don't do voices.
Ugh. No voices for anyone, huh?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Voices? Who does voices? I don't know.
I wanted to ask you about character voices. You know.
Oh, yeah, what about it?
Because people, you know, a lot of the time people are talking about, you know, oh, how do I get into voice acting stuff? You know, the real basic stuff. And, like, you know, that's fine. But you kind of get a lot of the same answers because there's only so many ways you can answer that question.
Oh yeah, every single day of my life, someone comes up to me and says,
Yo, oh my god, can you teach me voice acting? Can you teach me how to do like an impression of like Timmy Turner?
and I'm like, ooh, sir, I'm gonna give a slight hint here. Anybody who wants to get into professional voice work, let me tell you right now, doing impressions is not voice acting whatsoever. You hear me do different voices every time I come on, but I'll tell you this. An impressionist is a hobby. It's a term used for people who mimic or change their voices, but it is not what actual voice acting is. Voice acting is the label of a career you get paid for. You read scripts, you emit emotions, you're able to persuade or influence an audience or a listener into what you're listening to and focusing on what you're listening to. You don't copy voices. That would copyright whatever thing you're voice acting for. If you voice act for a professional show and you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do SpongeBob's voice for this character, that project is gonna be probably copyrighted by the fact that you called that voice the SpongeBob voice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty I guess that's the thing, isn't it? So you've got impressions, you've got I mean, there is, as much as there is sort of amateur theatre stuff, like, you definitely do have amateur voice acting stuff as well, though, right?
Are you calling me an amateur?
I'm just saying it exists. I'm not calling you an amateur.
Yes, there are amateur classes all over the globe. From you can do musicals, that can help a lot. Choir can even help you with controlling your vocal tones. There's even tons of independent voice acting classes, at least I know in America and Japan, that you can take. And some are not even expensive at all. Even though I have done a lot of work with voice acting, I too had to retake classes so I can actually put them on my resume for proof, and so projects can come pick me up. So I know a lot of classes because I've recently signed up for them. I've been doing voice acting for 8 years, but I can tell you right now, my fellow wannabe voice actors, that you can very easily find a voice acting gig around your area right now just by searching voice acting classes. I am completely serious on this. And if you can't find classes, you can very easily find a voice acting coach who is willing to give you classes just for a little fee, including myself.
Oh my gosh. What a reasonable offer. I wasn't actually intending to make this into an advert, but it kind of worked out that way. See, I was told that if you wanted to be a voice actor, you needed to be a regular stage actor as well.
What?
So, so that's why I went and joined and became a stage actor.
I mean, it helps. It's cool to put on your experience, and you'll probably get picked more for it, but, no, I'm never going on stage. Heck no, last time I was on stage, I was in kindergarten. No, first grade, and I barfed all over. Never again. Never again.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess it's not for everyone necessarily. Alright. Just getting the finer points in. So, we've been having a little bit of problem with our tournament site, so been sort of doing things a lot more manually than we'd be normally So I'm working out what the points are by doing them on our spreadsheet. So hopefully we can get that sorted out for another time. Let's see. Let's try and catch up on where we are. So do we have lobbies? So I believe... so Rain is working... Rain, our admin for today, is working very hard to get the rounds sorted out. But what I'll do is I will also get the points for everybody figured out at the same time. So Mr. Duck got... Actually, this probably would take longer. Let's see. Mythical Talent got 6, and Robin got 7.
Yeah!
Stybix got 6. European Hobo got 8. Wait, have the European Hobo come first twice?
Ooh.
That's pretty crazy.
And I'm at 251.
251?
Wow, that took you a long time to respond. Ugh, disappointment. Looks like the rounds have been posted and decided.
Fantastic.
My organs are trying to leave my body,
Oh, no.
and my intestines are crawling out.
That's not good at all.
Oh yeah, look at them go.
I mean, if you can see them going, I'm really worried. Okay. Okay.
My bigger intestine.
Alright, so... We've got, yes, 2 lobbies going up forward from round 3, so we should hopefully have a bunch more POVs to run us through. So, I'll leave it up to you. Dealer's choice, I mean. Would you like to follow Yucca, Mr. Duck, and Stybix, or Flinny TV, Record, and D-Wolf TFT? Oh.
You know, I'm gonna go for Stybix.
Alright, so that's going to be lobby 1. Let's just get that set up, and then we'll be right in there. Let's see. So, Stybix, Mr. Duck. So, I don't know if... Are you familiar with Mr. Duck's work? So, Mr. Duck has come up with their own game mode called Duck Mode, which is really hard to explain, which is why it probably isn't going to take off massively. But it's a lot of fun. Oh, hello. Someone's got Wheel of Names already set up. That would save a lot of time, if that was the case. So Mr. Duck has a mode called Duck Mode, where I believe you keep only one unit on the field and you swap it out as you go under certain restrictions. Mr. Duck has tried out this mode before, which, as you might expect, doesn't lead to a tremendous amount of tournament success. So I think they've been lured in a little bit by the idea of playing like a regular person for a while. But maybe one day we'll see Duck Mode return. Alright, so we've got a couple of minutes. So, back to the voice acting stuff. Just letting Stokes know what's going on. So, assuming you get, you figure out how to get for your first voice acting job, what are the kind of things, Army, that you would consider if you get given a given role? So, let's just say, like, you've got the role as, I don't know, like a street sweeper in the big city. That's your first role. what kind of stuff is on your mind to be able to give a good performance?
You see, if I was a street sweeper, I would first think, what the heck is that? I don't know what that is, but you see, I would look it up online, and if I see a bunch of old men doing it, I'd think, well, okay, well, if I gotta attempt to sound old, an old woman, an old man, I'm gonna look online, and I'm gonna try to find a bunch of examples of old people,
Sure.
And then I'm gonna, kind of form my own voice for an old person. And what I do is I'd open up maybe a recording software, whether that's Ableton, FL, Audacity, even. I would record myself speaking a line and trying to mimic the type of old person's voice until eventually maybe you'll be able to get it one day yourself. I'm just sweeping the street on my back. I'd be able to just kind of form this old person type of voice, you know what I mean?
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Let's get into round number 3. We're officially at the halfway part of the competition. Where we find ourselves, we was all can. And
my gosh! Let's see what we got here.
You gotta share your screen.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We changed lobby, so we have to do that again. And hey, look, it's Rix.gg, our sponsor for today. Just came at exactly the right time.
Thank you, RixGG_TV, for following us. Welcome to the show.
All right, let's get this shared and So, Ami, I don't know if you're aware of Rix.gg's work.
Am I?
I'll take that as a no. Yeah, Rix.gg do all sorts of stuff to help get better representation for women and non-binary people in the esports space, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Wait, tell me more.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, whoever's on the Rix.gg account, maybe you can do a better job of representing, but there's tournaments for Valorant. I think Valorant's probably the main one. There's a lot of good teams playing, and they also help promote female non-binary streamers and casters as well. So they'll try and staff their events with female non-binary casters to make sure there's actually spaces for that talent to develop. Because there just aren't that many female non-binary casters at all. It's crazy how few there are in the space. Like, it's literally on one hand.
Would I be able to sign up for it? Because obviously I'm a girl, I think.
I mean, I seem so. You should join the Rix.gg Discord, because they have their own TFT competitions as well.
Dang.
Oh,
Then I'll check it out.
I realise, because I have my stuff a little bit too small, I need to change over to this week's guest. It's not Improbable Blob, but instead Ami. Yeah.
Yeah, heck you.
Yeah, well, fortunately, Rix.gg, their name is in their title. Rix.gg. You can check it out. Where?
I'm definitely tipping out. I'm definitely checking out their Discord after this, because I want to become a caster, but I've always been worried, that I'm a girl in a man's world. I'll need to be able to take extra steps to get where I want to be as a caster, but hey, if they support female casters, I will definitely put my foot in the water and see what they do, and see if I can actually make that a goal,
Yeah. Well, I think probably the best one to learn would be if you can get up to speed on Valorant. I believe that's the one where there are the most tournaments that I'm aware of currently. But there used to be League of Legends, but I think unfortunately the female League of Legends space isn't quite where it needs to be to really support tournaments. But the Valorant space is very healthy. So that's the one to learn if you want to get some work there. But yeah.
Nice. Alright, I will.
Right,
Now
so
let's see what he's doing here.
Yeah.
Brawler and a Nightbringer.
I quite like this. So the Nightbringers get the early shields. I'm not quite sure about the Vladimir being right at the back, because they won't get their Nightbringer shield until right at the end of the round. But that's a strong looking bear man dude. with 2 completed items. Let's see, what's Mr. Duck got going on? Looks like they might be working towards a Cavalier setup here, with a Syndra on the back line, but 3 Cavaliers forming like the front line and proving themselves pretty tough to take down. Booped.
Ooh.
So something that people have been talking about a little bit recently is the return of... this is going back a little bit. The return of Hecarim brand as a composition, which used to really be a thing. You don't... unless you get the Radiant Hextech Gunblade, you don't have that same thing of brand kind of healing Cavaliers forever, but Cavaliers right now do provide a pretty solid front line, so you can just park a DPS unit, a damage unit behind all these Cavaliers, and then you pretty much got a functional comp.
Dang.
Alright, so Floating Bottle, what have they got going on? They are Skirmisher Sentinel, I believe. The scoreboard at the bottom of the left of the screen is manually updated, so I do apologise that it will almost certainly be inaccurate in some ways, but we'll do our best.
Ooh, he got him. Heck yeah.
Oh wow, that's an incredibly early drop of a Aphelios, and that could definitely work with those items, so I think we are on the Nightbringer path. There's no dawn coming, army. Only darkness forever.
Wait, no, I gotta make that scarier. Oh.
All right.
The night will last forever.
Oh, I got chills, I do.
Oh, nice.
They're multiplying. Alright, it's Radiant time. Have we got something that is good for Aphelios? Zeke's Harmony would work, because Demon Slayer would work as well. Guardian Archangel would be a more conservative choice, but would mean that Aphelios wouldn't have to risk being dead. It looks like we're going for the multi-carry setup with the Zeeks. 3 units will get 50% attack speed and 10% life steal, so you've got to find 3 units that's worth doing that for. Ah! Alright, let's update this competition to be Nightbringer Aphelios. Who are we missing on here? We've got 1 spot unfilled. Mythical Talon.
Your mom!
My mother!
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry about my mother? What have you done?
I don't know.
Well then. Who are we missing from the scoreboard? I think it's gonna be...
Ooh, Star Thresh, come on. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, nice one. So we've got Knight, Ranger. So the Nightbringer shield's kind of interesting, because it's, unlike Dawnbringer, which gives your whole team extra damage whenever it procs, the Nightbringer is a selfish variation, so it only gives you extra damage when you, to a particular unit when its shield is procced, which a lot of the time isn't going to happen to Aphelios if you're doing a front-to-back team fight, because he's just, he's just chilling at the back. He's not, taking that damage, not getting procced, and so not getting that damage boost he would otherwise get. Alright, 4 Nightbringer comes in, so that's bigger shields, bigger damage, but it is bringing out 2 Ranger, which means it will take a little bit longer for Aphelios to reach his full power.
Oh, Olaf. Yo, we got Frozen up in here? Let it go!
Oh no! We've been demonetized!
Hey, technically I think you need what was it, 6 seconds of a song or something to be fully copyrighted? I don't remember the rules, man.
That's true, let's do the whole thing in 5-second increments.
Let it go, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it.
So what's Colligal got going on? They have got themselves a Draven comp. Pretty snazzy, huh? Fully armed.
Oh, they got
fully armored.
Nightbringer 4.
Yeah, this is pretty good, though. Where's she? I'm trying to remember. So for Nightbringers, for a while, you do need to leave Vladimir in because a lot of the Nightbringers are 4 costs. So you got Felius, you got Diana as well, so you can't get up to 6 Nightbringer. I think I'm trying to remember. It's because I've learnt the previous set 5 so well. I'm confusing myself by remembering stuff like Darius from set 5, who doesn't exist anymore. What is this world army? Well, they don't even exist anymore.
Oh god, I don't know. I don't know what I would do if Abomination didn't exist. Though I think I said that same exact thing when what was it called? Beasts? Or what was it called?
What do
The
they
furry
have?
team.
Oh, Yodels?
What was it? A long time ago. They had a team that was like all animal related. I don't remember.
Well, who do they have in them?
There was the wolf guy. Nar was in it.
Oh,
It was just all the animal related ones.
that's a deep cut, I think. TFT. I'll have to dig down. I can't remember. That sounds like maybe set 1 or set 2 or something, and I've sort of purged all that stuff from my brain just so I don't need anymore.
But that was my favorite comp.
I don't know. It looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit too much research to find out. So, if anyone knows in the chat, please do let us know. Who was that? What was that comp which had Gnar and all the beastie friends in there? I assume probably Nidalee was in there as well, since she's a part-time beast.
No, I don't think she was in it. It was literally all like animal based. Like the trait name was animal based or something. I don't remember, man. It was a long time ago. That was only an idea back then. And now I'm a fetus.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much stuff, there's so much space that TFT has grown over time. As a European hobo gets taken out. It looks like this time. Hey, Shakid, thank you for the follow. It looks like Yoka's going to be the executioner. Was it Shapeshifters? I do remember Shapeshifters because they did have Nidalee, and they had Gnar and they had Swain. But I don't think that's the same one because you're saying that specifically didn't have that.
No, it didn't have that at all. They were all animal based. It was a long time ago. Maybe like 2 years ago.
Though there is Wild. That was from the very first set of TFT.
Maybe.
That had Ari, Gnar, Rengar, Nidalee, and Warwick in it. That was like an attack speed.
Actually, I think that was it.
Yeah, that was.
I think that was it.
If you had 2 of them, then they basically just got everybody just got a Gwynsu. Effectively, was the Wild thing.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Well,
I
hey,
also like the Star one where you
Star
make
Guardians.
basically a transformer.
oh
yeah.
no, Mech Pilot probably.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They keep trying to bring that idea back. I think this is one of the first sets for a while they haven't had a variation of that idea.
Damn, they have 2 Iverns. What are they planning?
Good shout. That's Ivern and Fiddlesticks are both Revenant, so maybe they're planning on moving into having a Revenant front line because that's very, very common at this point. They've got. They could bring in a Northless, which would immediately give them Ironclad.
Go for Galio. Go for 2-star.
You're right. Oh no, you're right. Actually, Jakid, Abomination is totally like mech. What am I talking about? I guess I just didn't think of it in that way, but it functionally is mech. Absolutely. All right, Gwen comes in.
Yeah, you're dumb, counter.
I feel like such a dummy.
But if you say it like that, you're too handsome to be dumb. Gosh dang it.
Well, I wouldn't like to say, but yes. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I hope he gets that. I hope he gets that Galio.
He's got 2-star Galio already, so it's a long way to get to 3, and Yucca has no money left, which is a bit of a problem because they haven't won the game yet. They're on 2 health. We're going back to the previous round. I mean, is it Yucca or Clock? Is this their time to shine?
Yes, it's his time. It is his time to shine.
Shine on, you crazy diamonds. Alright, it's Double Cavalier on the front line. Yucca down on 2 health, as is Stybix as well. It's do or die time. Up against Carly Girl, who doesn't have enough life to survive this round. They've gone for Gavin. It's time to duel. You got it. Let's see if that Draven is able to survive for long enough. The Aphelios with the multi-target axis is pretty good, but once the Draven gets onto the Aphelios, it's all gonna be over. Yurker is almost dead. Will this Aphelios find a way through? No! He's out of there!
Ooh. I'm never betting on him again.
It does seem like the result so far. Well, I mean, Yurker going out in 5th place with Rast Al Ghul just above them. What a close match.
Dang, look at all those.
Alright, so at least we do get Yucca giving us a POV onto Stybix. So Stybix has also gone for a Nightbringer Aphelios. Weirdly enough, Nightbringer, you have to get 2 different spatulas to be able to get up to Nightbringer 8, which is really weird, and I don't know what the point of that is, because it's almost never going to happen, because you can't make a Nightbringer spatula. You have to rely on the game just deciding to give it to you.
Not even in like the dark?
No, there's no shadow items anymore, so you've got no way of directly making it yourself. The game will give you like random traits, but you're not guaranteed to get them at all.
Wait, so if I try to go for an abomination, like...
You may not be able to make
Max.
Abomination 5. Because Abomination is based off of the Tome of Traits, as it's called, which does not appear in every game. So you can get... Yeah, the Tome of Traits gives you a choice of different ones, and sometimes you'll get some extra options as part of the shop, I believe. I've got to actually make sure I know all this stuff for sure.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a crazy
I'm
world
never
we live in.
playing Abomination again.
They did nerf Abomination pretty hard as well, so it's not as right to the late game as it would have been otherwise. Growl. Alright, we're down to our top 3. Mythical Talon, Carly Girl, and Stybix. Ooh, excuse me. Do you think Stybix has got what it takes to make it all the way to the top of the table?
Sorry, texting the police here.
Oh no! It's the Rothers. Stybix.
Oh, yeah. I put all my... well, I guess we're not putting money into this. I'm putting all my hope into Stybix.
Stybix, you can see with the red HP bar, needs to win, but they will make it through this round, which means Colin Girl is now in elimination territory. We have 3 players remaining, and between them, they have got less than 10 HP.
Sorry, the police was giving me a donut. Yes! Agreed.
It looks like it's gonna be... so Mythical Talon's got the Heimer. Carly Girl, let's see, last we saw was a Draven comp, and Stybix with Aphelios. It's 280 carries and a little yodely boy.
Ooh, and they just got a volley bear. Mystical did. Mystical, is that his name? Mythical, sorry.
I
My
keep making that mistake as
eyes are a
well.
little, Who
All right.
will win this battle? A single mistake can be fatal. Ooh, got him in the corner. Oh, no.
Stymix is dead.
Uh,
Carly Girl is dead. Mythical Talon takes the whole lobby. Look at that river sprite. Whoa, that's a choice being made right there. And there we have it. We have ourselves a winner. Now we're down to just 2 lobbies. But they are a little fuller than they were before. So let's see. Has anyone posted the results? So for round... This was the round... lobby 1 for round 3. So we might still have ourselves some players in lobby 2. In fact, yes, we do. Let's see, if we can pop across there and check out what they're up to. So that's going to be Flinny.
yeah.
Oh, and for any of you guys watching as well, don't forget that the POV players we're watching today are all streaming for the tournament, but they are also all TFT streamers in themselves. So if you find anyone you think, hey, that player's really cool, then you can go and catch their stream. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze.
You are excused.
Ah, thanks. Alright, let's see. Well, let's check out Wolf's stream. Oh gosh, I've got a case of the sneezies.
Dang, they already got so many trades. Ugh.
So D-Wolf is out already, and I think we're coming to the very end here. I do apologise. I think D-Wolf is doing their best to stream, but the equipment is unfortunately not quite where it needs to be. But it looks like the top player in the lobby is totally undefeated the entire way through. They have started with 20 life, and it looks like they're about to end with 20 life as well. This is craziness.
Dang. Are they part of our group?
I don't think... it's not hard to tell. I don't think so. I think they might have been a surprise competitor who showed up and destroyed everything.
Dang.
But don't worry, the points will ignore randoms. So to make sure that only the tournament players' skill level compared to each other is the thing being measured. But look, that's a Vayne. Well, so it's a Vayne 3 comp that ran through and went totally undefeated. That's pretty wild. Alright, so that means we need to get some admin work done before we get on to round number 4. So do stick with us, gentle friends, and we will be back with you in, let's say about 4 minutes, because that puts us squarely on 20 past. So stick around, round 4 coming up.
Jack it up. Jack it up.
The back and forth has got me so messed up, don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out. Find a way. Find a way out. Find a way. Find a way out. What's all this for? It's got me turned around, but I can't ignore the feelings that I found in this whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out. Find a way out. Find a way out. Find a way out. Find a way out.
Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to the show. So, we're working very hard, or rather, Rain's been working very hard behind the scenes to bring us together for round number 4. So, what we're going to do in the interest of time, just because it takes a while to put together these rounds manually, is do it with the round 4 and round 5 will be the same lobby, so they'll kind of go right from one to the other. So, 2 back-to-back games to end out. The reason we're doing this is because we got some of our lower performing players so far today looking to try and turn their fortunes around. Now, for any of you guys who are watching on stream, let's catch you up on the actual points themselves. So MFLN and Mythical Talent are tied up with 21 points each. MFLN had to drop though, which means that Mythical Talent is left in uncontested number 1 position. Just below them on 20 points, Robin 96. Then we take a little dip further down to D-Wolf on 19, Leaving on 18, Rekka on 17. And then Mr. Duck and Flinny on 13 each. They got a lot of ground to make up, but it's still pretty competitive through most of the lobby. Floating Bottle one on 15 is the most in the middle, so we've got a chance over these last 2 games to make up a lot of ground. Bear in mind the point scoring in this tournament is based heavily on sort of being less competitive than it would be normally. So sometimes there'll be a skew of, say, 10 points for coming in first place and 8 for second, so you get a lot more for coming in first. That's not the case here today. You get 8 points for first, 7 points for second, so making top 4 at all is fine, and honestly hitting a 5th or 2 isn't as damaging as it would be otherwise. So hopefully that will help get across the idea that everything's done pretty casually here today. And our thanks, of course, go out to Army for joining us for rounds 1, 2, 3. It was extremely late for her, and I think she was also quite ill at the same time. So, well, Trooper, fantastic stuff. Hopefully we'll get to see some more of her down the line. So let's talk a little bit about the rounds which have come up so far, because we've got a chance to do so. So in lobby 2 of round 3, we got the chance to see just a little taste of it at the end, where MFLN actually came in second, but lost out to a pub player, Jareen, who was running a 3-star Vane composition with, I believe, I can't quite spot it. I think it was in fact only 2 items on that Vane, though I'm probably wrong on that one. But yeah, 3-star Vane actually crushed all the way through to the end of the lobby, all the way up to level 9, was still good enough. So if you're looking for kind of an off-the-wall composition to try and take, which isn't generally very contested, that was a Vane with Knights. So there was Garen, I think there was probably also the Sentinel in there as well. It would seem to make a lot of sense. So it was Vane, Akshan, Galio. Oh no, actually no. So it's Vane, Knights. So with Garen, Galio, Thresh, and Nautilus, providing a Knight frontline. We got a little bit we got Forgotten 4 in there as well. So Forgotten Knights and a little bit of Ironclad. And it was enough to destroy the whole lobby. In fact, went completely undefeated the whole way through the game, which is pretty crazy. I mean, one of the things you don't need to worry about so much with Hyper Roll is whether or not you are able to get access to items, because there are no carousels. But I think we'll probably kill enough time to be able to get in it too. Our next round of play. So let's see what we've got. We've got 2 lobbies. Let's see. And so let's see. Yurka, Yes Laughter, Hobo, Floating Bottle, Flenny, D-Wolf, and Yaren in one lobby. Then Mr. Duck, Stybix, Mythical Talon. Okay, so I think if I remember correctly, we'll drop in with what Yurka's doing for the time being, because I believe they would generally have a pretty good quality stream. So that will be in lobby 1. Let's hop over there and see what's going on. Wah! Let's go! Alright, let me get this to full screen, and then we can be officially off to the races. Alright, so slamming items early on does make a hell of a lot of sense. As we mentioned before, the carousel is normally a big limiter in terms of what's practical to do. Because if you do too well, you can't get your items through carries, but you don't need to worry about that in Hyper Roll because you don't have any carousel beyond the first one. So with that in mind, you can pretty much go as strong as you want to early on and still, maintain a good position in the late game. So I think you are rewarded for playing strong early. Let's see, so up against the Cull. Let's see what they've got for us. I'm just going to fill out our scoreboard so we can see Yucca going for the Nightbringer in the previous round. We got Flinny TV, Carly Girl, we've got one of our randoms, Jarin and Sakol, 1, 2, 3. We have D-Wolf joining us. We've got Chinks, who I believe is a random, Floating Bottle, and that's a lot. Right, so let's see if we can I believe we've got D-Wolf and... oh, Flinny TV as well. Let's add that in as a alternate POV. Let's see, is that up and working? Not yet. So we'll stick with Yaka for the time being. So they've got Sentinel Skirmisher. It's a classic composition for a reason. It will destroy pretty much everything you can throw in front of it in the early going. And what is going to get thrown in front of it, it's a Flinny TV with the Redeem. So they've got themselves what will be later on a setup for a Kale, but right now it's for Varus. We can see it's doing pretty well. So Varus is going to get the extra defensive stats. And AP for the Redeemed isn't quite strong enough though, but it's still a solid start. Let's get some comps in here. And let's see. Oh yes, we've got Flinny TV's POV as well. So we can follow them for a while. Hey, nice quality stream. Love it. So let's see. So we've got 3 Redeems, 2 Ranger. I mean, that's pretty solid. You've got Ash over on the far side of the field to try and draw some aggro from early assassins. And you've got, of course, our favourite friend Syndra to throw away any assassins who actually directly go after my boy Varus. So the Redeemed is kind of interesting because you would love to have a lot of high star units, but you also need to be able to pick up late game units as well if you're going to go hard into Redeem. As well, Carligel has also gone up for Sentinel Skirmishers. Fantastic. I wish I could say I was more surprised, but I think Riot were definitely big on people actually playing skirmishers. Playing Sentinels in set 5.5, which of course, Sentinels being the new trait coming in. So they are pretty pushed, which is the magic parlance for better than a lot of other stuff, and perhaps even maybe a little bit better than they should be. They're certainly doing the job in the early going. So there's a leveled up Aphelios. Aatrox. We've got ourselves most of a Redeem 6 comp, but notable that there's not even the option here for Flinny to level up to 6 to be able to put in 6 Redeemed, even if they did have them, because you are stuck leveling exactly when Hyperroll wants you to level. Does mean you don't have to put any money towards it though, which is always nice. Alright. So the thing that's missing for me here for Flinny's setup is frontline, but we have got a Blessed Bloodthirst, which would be nice, but frontline items are important for being able to buy that eventual Kale enough time. Looks like, yes, Frozen Heart of Gold, so that will be a very heavy attack speed debuff across the front line. Should allow for now this 3-item Varus to get the time to stack up that Gwynsu's Rage, but stack up the Deathblade as well, and really become a major damage hitter. It's interesting the Frozen Heart goes on the Aphelios rather than on the Leona, who's got the defensive traits, or defensive ability to keep her alive for longer. But we'll see. It's 5 Redeem right now, which is not ideal, up against D-Wolf, who has gone for a pretty similar setup here. A Ashe carry. I guess it's an Ashe Ranger comp would be probably the best description I can think of for it right now. With a bunch of random frontlines, and a 2-star Ashe who is pouring out the damage. I think it's going to be very, very close between the two of them, but Flinny TV takes the win there over D-Wolf. And keeps on trucking. Let's go to our other POV for a while. Yoko, let's see what they've been doing. So, looks like we've got an AP comp in the brewing here. The Sentinel Skirmishers have stayed in place, and there's no real reason for them not to do so, because they are going to serve extremely well. You know, even if when the Sentinels and the Skirmishers become a little less relevant themselves, the Sentinel buff is truly fantastic for enabling some of your transitional carries as you move towards your end game composition. We've got ourselves 2 spatulas drop. That's amazing news for Yaka. I can't imagine a world in which they decide to not go for a Force of Nature. Oh, MFLM wants to rejoin the tournament. Hey, why not? It's all been done rather informally today. Just making more work for Rain. I do apologize, Rain. Hey, what can you do, huh? All right, a lot of stuff on the bench. We're not seeing a lot of items being slammed here, so there's still a force of nature that Yucca is not using. There we go. So that's well, I don't know if it's going to cost them this round. It's going to be pretty tight. If they do win, it's amazing to think that they won with one less unit. Yeah, they won with one less unit than they actually even needed. That is pretty wild. Oh, Ariel or Emfin, thank you for the follow. Oh, Slick, I didn't notice you were typing in the chat. Let me just catch up with what you've been saying. Yes, there was a lot of Redeemer being picked up early. Oh, Slick, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have you along and doing shoutcasting. A lot of the people I have been previously shoutcasting with for TFT have stopped. So, absolutely, I'll send you a DM about that now, so don't forget. What are you? Oh, there, too Slick. Right, send a message. So back to the work. So D-Wolf, we saw them before with Ash set up there. Static Shiv is really interesting, especially the Redeem Static Shiv. Hits, I think, a ridiculous amount of targets. I think it's like 8 different targets. So it's a good amount of damage. The only thing is for D-Wolf is they need to as well to find some a magic damage dealer as part of their composition, and then they'll really get to see that Static Shiv shine because it's shredding magic resist, and Ash doesn't do a ton of magic damage. So maybe, you know, some late game AP carry would be great. So Yucca, they've got themselves AD and AP. That's Misfortune and Draven. They've got a nice Cavalier front line. Looks like they're going to be sticking with this for the time being. And it's always nice when with Forgotten when you've got a creep round coming up so you can get that guaranteed victory in. Because for anyone who's not played a lot of Forgotten recently, they work very much like the old Warlords do. You have to get those wins on them to be able to unlock their full potential. A lot of Lucians, a lot of Apheliae coming in, but there's very little money left for Yucca there. So we've got the Quincy's Rageblade being added on to Draven. That is oftentimes an essential item. We don't have Legionnaire though, importantly for Yucca, so they will not be able to keep their healing going. I mean, Slick, if you want to come on and do some casting now, oh, I've not, like, Ollie had to drop out, so you can if you want. Alright, so what have we got? Pliny, of course, doesn't have the Kale as of yet. So it's still doing pretty well. So, oh my gosh, that's double Trap Claw. Double Trap Claw protecting. Okay, apparently, Too Slick is going to join the casting desk midway through. Fantastic. Let's make Too Slick officially a caster. Where are you? Where are you? Alright, so hopefully Slick will be joining us in a second. There we go. Alright, Rain, I'm gonna top up the casting. Hey, Slick! Yeah, we're just kind of doing everything in the admin room today because, I don't know really, just are. Let me share my screen across with you. Though you are muted right now, just so you're aware.
Okay, fair enough. Right now we're seeing a lot of Cavalier frontline. And it's going to be actually fantastic to see how this comes out because there's a lot of different Cavalier front lines, and then also Nautilus is being heavily picked. And so this is going to be actually pretty interesting because people that have Nautilus 2-star already are going to have a massive advantage.
Yeah, I really like the, I mean, actually, to pivot slightly in the conversation, I was curious as to what you thought about this, because I know people were having this discussion on competitive TFT subreddit of, is Ironclad worth it at the moment when everyone and their dog is running a Last Whisper on their primary carry? Is the trade-off of playing the Ironclad unit to get the arm, which is just going to get shredded anyway, is that still worthwhile?
Well, the thing is, the only reason that Last Whisper is being ran is because Knight and Ironclad are so popular, right? And so when you're looking at that, plus Cavalier and all that, of course Last Whisper is very strong, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't run it. But I do think that with Last Whisper being ran so much, right? When it's ran as much as it is right now, that makes it so, that's the reason why Vel'Koz comps are so successful. And so it makes it really interesting of how you're supposed to deal with these kinds of comps, because then all of a sudden everyone is forced to pivot late game into at least 2, if not 3 Mystic. As long as there is an AP comp. If there's not an AP comp, then it's totally fine. Like you should still be running this Ironclad, you should still be running the Knight, because one Last Whisper on to 1 carry is not going to make the difference on your entire front line unless it's on something like an Aphelios or someone that is going to be dealing a lot of AoE that can destroy your entire front line incredibly quickly. Even a Draven can chip through your front line very quickly as long as they also respectively have a decent front line. But yeah, I would not say that Last Whisper would make it so you don't run Ironclad.
Alright, so it's Wolf versus Yuck here, as it becomes an indecipherable mess. As of course Akshan's swinging all around the place. It's very hard to tell what's going on here, but the Ashe is still alive on the backline, just barely, but D-Wolf is out of there. I think they hit around 4th or 5th. No, down to 6th. Flinny goes out in the same round, but only hits -2, whereas D-Wolf hits -4. We are already down to our top 3. There we go. What do you think of Yucca's setup right now?
I'm thoroughly enjoying the Cannoneer on the Akshan right now. That's pretty funny to me, because I haven't really seen that interaction yet, and so that's pretty entertaining to me. I do think it's quite strong. The MF with the items that they had previously, and then including the items that they've put on later, their MF, even just only it being like her being a 2-star, is incredibly strong. Like, she is constantly like so consistent, and so I feel like the front line right now is incredible. Absolutely. A 2-star Garen with a Sunfire cape already, not to mention a 2-star Galio, not to mention the Rel and the Nautilus. Like their positioning and what they have right now for stats and synergies, like they are probably going to win this out.
Yeah, well, we're down to top 3. Carly Girl, one of the ones remaining, but it's Jirin, who I believe is one of our pub players, who is still up and around, and it's oh wait, maybe this is a friend of one of the players, or maybe I'm just confused about who the tournament players are, because it's the same setup from before. It's a 3-star Vayne. How do you feel about Vayne at the moment?
Feel about Vayne at the moment? I feel like Vayne is an incredible unit to make it so you make it to mid game, but I often feel like you need to sell her out. I don't think that using her as a late game carry is going to be a solid decision. I think that you're going to end up taking a lot of losses late game. I feel like that's a top 4 kind of composition if you're trying to go for Vayne carry. I do not think that it's going to close your game out.
2-star Akshan coming in, so it's a 2-star Cannoneer Akshan.
Oh lord. Alright. That's multiple 5-cost 2-stars. That is terrifying for anyone in the game. That's an IE on the... Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, up against Sharon again. So we are down to our top 2. Carly Girl getting knocked out from before. So we'll see if the Vayne can manage. The Vayne does at least have 2 trap claws on there, but yeah, that Akshan, oh my gosh, it's a world of difference there.
Yeah, the Cannoneer with the Ginsus, with the IE, 1 ultimate with a 2-star Akshan is going to probably be killing what, like 2 to 3 units in one ultimate, depending on the angle. And so it's terrifying. Like, that unit is going to be doing so much damage, not to mention, again, the front line that they have with a 2-star Garen. Having those 2 items is terrifying. That like, Garen will not die. And that makes it so even if Akshan randomly gets hooked or something by a Thresh or anything like that and dies, the rest of the backline will flourish anyway. It does not matter.
Yeah, we can see how strongly the center of the board is being controlled there. We come in for one more time. Looks like Akshan didn't immediately delete everything this time around. We got fairly close. Vayne is still up, but only for a second longer. It was closer than it was last time, but Yoka, yes, you called it right before. Takes the whole lobby. Fantastic stuff. And in good news as well.
That was a great game. That was fantastic.
So that was, I believe, lobby 1. MFLN, I believe, is going to join in for that first lobby as they redo. So hopefully we'll be back up and things. So, Too Slick, for anyone who is watching this, like, who's this Too Slick guy? Could you tell the gentle viewers about yourself?
So, yes, on Twitch, my name is Way Too Slick, and there's no underscore, no numbers, anything like that, just Way Too Slick. But I stream many different games. I am only a diamond player when it comes to teamfight tactics, but I'm just a guy that likes to have fun and plays a lot of different games and enjoys interacting with my viewers, but that's about it. That's all I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I've seen before, you made quite an impression on the people in the casual competition before. So I think that's really cool. I'm loving that that's been a big part of doing all this stuff, is kind of getting people to meet each other and find streams that they'll enjoy being part of in the future.
Oh, absolutely. No, these tournaments have made it so I've met some of the people that I have been playing games with consistently. So, like, I definitely love these tournaments. I totally forgot that, like, I was like, oh, it's Saturday night. And then I forgot that I'm US, so it's technically, like, right after, it's at, like, 3:30 in the morning after Friday for me.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
I saw the tournament going, I was like, oh, no.
Wait, so what time is it for you now?
Right now, it's almost 5 in the morning.
Wow, okay. I'll say, yeah, Army was commentating before from the US as well. You don't sound anywhere near as tired as I would expect someone to sound at 5 in the morning.
No, my sleep schedule is not exactly collected. It's okay though.
Well, all the best for me, I suppose. So what time do you stream if someone was to check out Way Too Slick?
Oh, if someone was to check out my channel, my streaming is very inconsistent, I would say. What I would say is recently I have been streaming anywhere between, when it comes to Pacific Standard Time, I am going to be streaming anywhere between, I'm going to be starting probably around like anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m. and probably streaming deep into the early morning often. I'm trying to adjust that, of course, but the whole thing is like, I still enjoy the times I have, because even though a lot of the people that I stream to are from EU and can't play with me, you know, lag issues happen on the games that I play, but I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't know. I don't have a problem with my sleep schedule. I think that when it comes to streaming, you just have to be fluid when it comes to it. Of course, I would love a more consistent schedule, but it works for me.
Yeah, it is tricky. Like, I know certainly when I was TFT streaming, I think especially doing it a lot as well, it genuinely becomes like a large part of your lifestyle at that point. That you're kind of, you're making time for it. It's always going to be at the expense of other stuff which you could be doing.
I am loving this stage that you've made for yourself. I haven't seen this yet.
Oh yeah, no, it's really nice. If you've got, I don't know if you've got a camera feed yourself, you can chuck through OBS Ninja, but you could too appear on the stage. It's actually one of the Stream Elements built-in things, which I was amazed to find, but it's really nice.
I've been thinking about transferring to Stream Elements from Stream OBS just because I can't have a watch time on OBS, like the exclamation point watch time. You can't do that for your viewers on OBS, and that is so upsetting.
Well,
because everyone knows it.
Well, I think the Stream Element spot, as far as I'm aware, is independent of what you're streaming with.
Yes, true. Yes, you can do the Stream Elements spot apart from it, but also I've heard that Stream Elements just has a lot of, well, more elements.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very, very good. I got recommended it when I first started streaming as being like, this has got everything you could ever possibly want. And so far, that seems to be the case. Like, I think, it's a definitely good middle ground between, Streamlabs OBS being a very good place to start out with, and then the kind of the very bare bones of OBS Studio, where you really just need to do everything yourself.
Right. So, are there more games, or was that the last game that I just hopped into?
Okay. Let's see if let's get them started actually. So. So I believe we will, let's see. So for lobby 2, that would be Mr. Duck. Let's see if we've got some good POVs there. So Mr. Duck. Oh, I think it's Stybix is streaming as well, aren't they? So let's get into lobby 2 for our second round. So I'll share. No, actually, sorry. I think I have already got the share set up.
The second round only? Wow. It's 2 of 3.
So we're coming into the 5th round of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this one we'll have Stybix, Mr. Duck, Mythical Talon. So I'm just filling out the scoreboard before we get in. Robin, Rekert, and Levin, I believe, will be joining. MFLN rather, will be joining the lobby. We haven't seen these folks for a little while, so I figured to give them a chance. Do you get a chance to try any hyper roll yourself? Or are you strictly...
Me?
Yeah, are you strictly a vanilla TFT player?
Actually, I was prepping for hyper roll, for the hyper roll tournament that you were talking about, right? Is that the one that's happening right now?
It is.
It didn't seem like hyper roll.
It was.
Wow, really? Those late game comps didn't seem like hyper roll at all. Some of those seemed very standard. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually find it really helpful to try out comps just by iterating very, very quickly.
Oh, absolutely. No, I use hyper roll a lot when a new patch comes out. I definitely run hyper roll for a handful of rounds. But yes, I've played a decent amount of hyper roll recently. I will admit that I still think just hard rolling Dawnbringer is the easiest thing in the world to land top 4. But when we're talking about tournament status and trying to like do your best and try to get first place, if you're playing for first, of course Dawnbringer only, unless you get a spatula for Dawnbringer, you're not going to end up getting there. But like, you're not going to get that first or second. You're playing for top 4. All right, here we go. We're in the game.
All right. So we've got Stybix, we've got Mr. Duck, who I think is maybe a little bit behind, and Rekert. So we'll probably primarily look at Stybix and Rekert, since that'll be the most
interesting. Mr. Duck went for a glove early. What did we get for Stybix and...
So Stybix got a cloak early on, and Rekert...
Cloak? Interesting.
Oop. Someone's streaming maybe a little bit more than they intended. Fortunately, it's there we go. Keck transcends language barriers.
Okay, so Rekert, so glove as well. Interesting. So Rekert went for glove. Like, I don't know. We have a cloak and a glove on our 2 top players. Both of these items are Excuse me, sorry. Both of these items are 2 items that are expecting something, right? These aren't like items like bow and sword, where when you get those early, you already know that they're going to be powerful. Glove and cloak are both expecting. Oh my lord, these items. What? Records items right now?
Wow, yeah, so we've got an Infinity Edge and a Last Whisper. How are you... I know we have had the change to Giant Slayer recently, as much as that's, you know, this seems like the most direct way to go. But Giant Slayer
is absolutely incredible. But wow, these... okay, goes for IE. And okay. So this is a Draven angle. It's got to be a Draven angle.
Yes,
like there's no way that they're going for an absolute Nidalee angle with this. There's no way that they're trying to keep Nid here. This looks like a Draven angle for sure.
So that seems like it would make sense to me because you're getting the extra bonus, like raw stats from Forgotten very nicely. I suppose theoretically you could maybe stick it on an Aphelios if that dropped into your lap early enough.
I mean, the issue with Aphelios is you need D-Blade. You need Deathblade desperately on Aphelios because the ult killing is the reason why Aphelios just stacks so hard, right? Granted, okay, so this could also, by all means, this could be a great angle for a Nocturne, like an Assassin Nocturne comp. This could be incredible for Assassin Nocturne with these items.
It does seem like
these items definitely pin on those.
Well, Record seems like they might be trying to split the difference here a bit. You know, they're holding onto Kha'Zix, they're holding onto Forgotten units as well, so they've got the ability to switch between depending on how the shop treats them.
I just don't think when you play Draven, I don't think you need a bunch of Forgotten. I think that you need being 2 Forgotten, sure, but I don't think you need more than that, because once you get to Draven, because he's a 4 cost, you're going to be looking more for a great front line of like whether it's Ironclad, even like Revenant and Mythic when it comes to like Fiddlesticks and stuff like that, and like Volibear. Like you don't want to have like a full team comp of Forgotten. A bunch of Forgotten, not that necessary these days.
Okay, that's interesting.
Another.
So, Leavin has decided to go down the Forgotten route, though they haven't really committed major items through as of yet. So they've got Vayne, they've got Misfortune.
No items committed, nothing slammed. Still gonna win though because of the Bramble. The Bramble on Leona. Leona right now, early on, if you get a 2-star with 1 item, she's very strong. Whether it's Bramble or Sunfire, Leona early on is very strong.
So double Aurelia in the shop. It's gonna make Rekka pretty darn happy. So they should be able to find a way. Well, they could put in Sentinel Skirmisher right now, if they wanted to, with the Rakan in the shop. And it looks like that's the way they're going to go, so they're going to have a fully powered Olaf. Of course, we talked about it before on the stream. I don't know if you have any strong opinions on the Sentinel change, the big Sentinel change as of this patch, that the Sentinel buff will always go onto the most itemized units, or most carry-ish unit.
I think that it was a necessary buff to Sentinels, because before, Sentinel was very inconsistent in my opinion, and the pass around that it does now, I don't know. I think that Sentinel needed that kind of rework, because it before just seemed so weak, and they had so many units that weren't weak, and so like a lot of people were like splashing Sentinel, but it kind of felt bad as a synergy, in my opinion. But now it looks very good, and it doesn't look like overpowered. That's the reason why I like it a lot.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. Because I know that certainly Sentinel Skirmisher has been, the go-to comp for a lot of people for a lot of time. So, it's from where I was saying, I was, kind of feeling like, if that is the case nearly all the time, is it not then by sort of definition too strong?
Well, okay. So right now, I guess it could be a little bit too strong, but the thing is right now, the combination of Skirmisher Sentinel is like an incredible opener for anyone, right? And so that's the reason why it's really strong, is it's performing incredibly well. Like Skirmisher and Sentinel paired up is performing incredibly well early to mid game. But of course, late game, you see everyone transferring to Revenant and stuff like that. They bring out the Fiddlesticks and the Volibear and stuff like that and start selling everything out. This is what you used for like early to mid game. But since we're talking about Hyper Roll, yes, this is an incredible comp. It's an incredible fucking stat. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's your one. That's your one.
I know. I'm sorry. No cursing.
Well, we try and keep it to a minimum, but I always find if I go with the no, then it gets minimal. If I go for it's okay, I get tons. So that's why I always try and on the side.
No. I acknowledged it immediately. Told you I wouldn't, and I did it. I apologize. I absolutely apologize.
Hey, no worries.
All right, but so Sentinel is like an interesting thing again because with the buff and the way it works right now, Sentinel is definitely a comp where splashing 3 is incredibly strong. But Sentinel has never been a composition where I think that you go above 3. Like right now we have 6 Skirmisher out instead of putting 3 Sentinel out because like they clearly understand that Skirmisher is going to be more important than Sentinel. 3 Sentinel is great. Fantastic. But it's not important to get above that.
Yes, it seems like
the base buff of it is great.
Actually, I realised that we have been focusing on Record for quite a while, so let's jump across and let's have a quick pass by and see what Mr. Duck is up to.
Oh, Mr. Duck.
Mr. Duck. Oh, okay. Oh no, they've got a Draven trapped in the corner by their own pieces. That is unfortunate.
Mr. Duck is kind of screwed this game. So already putting a Rabadons onto Jax is questionable at best, and then they put a Thieves Gloves onto a Draven. Now, that's an issue.
I mean,
sorry to say, but that's the thing is, when you have 2 carries, okay? Right now, they're trying to play 2 attack damage carries. If that Radiant Bloodthirster was on the Draven and the Hodge was on the Draven, and then they got 1 bow item, this Draven is looking fantastic. But instead, they take the Draven and they put a Thieves Gloves. Do you see what I'm saying? Now they end up having like 2 split carries, and they're frontlining this Jax instead of putting 1 row behind. The positioning I feel for this Jax just makes it so this Jax is gonna get eaten alive by CC and just dies.
We'll see. I mean, certainly if I remember correctly, the AP spell power, no, the ability power now. I can't remember if they reversed it back from just having their own name. Whatever. Okay, well, I guess it's all a moot point now because Mr. Duck is dead, but yes, I do agree with all the points there. There's definitely a lot of positional and decision-making stuff there to work on. Though, I mean, I can understand where Duck was coming from in that, if you've got a pile of carries and you've got Thieves Gloves, on some rounds you're going to have a real carry because you roll correctly.
Well, the thing is, so let's say you have a Thieves Gloves, right? Why are you putting that on your back line carry instead of putting it on your front line carry? Because if you put it on your front line carry, right, that makes it so there's a 50% chance that front line carry ends up getting tanky items, and then the other 50% is going to be attack items, right? And so
Yeah,
your
that's fair.
frontline carry ends up having that. If your backline carry, like let's say your Draven in the backline randomly gets like a Bramble Vest, like what is that doing for your team?
Oh, that's a fair shout. Let's check out Stybix though, who's got no Thief gloves at all. Instead, they've got Skirmisher and Sentinel, so they decided not to go for 6.
I remember Stybix telling me how much he loved attack speed Udyr, but like, come on, man, sell your Udyr on the shelf. You're not going for 3-star Udyr. You need that gold, man.
Holy moly! So it's a carry Rakan composition with a Radiant Spear and a Gwynsu's in there, so that's going to be a massive healing or coming all out from the center. Is this a real thing?
No, it's not.
I mean, it's working right
But-
now.
It's okay. The issue right now that's confusing me is also the whole thing right now is, so there's a Radiant Thieves gloves that's on the Fiddlesticks that they were against. Not to mention though, the Nocturne that they were against is a terrible build. The Nocturne they were against had a, I believe, QSS and a Frozen Heart, which, if you're running a Nocturne, you probably want to be building those damage items instead of doing that, unless it's the only assassin they were running. I would have to check their comp out again.
Alright, so up against Dammy here, who is running themselves a Karma composition. I did see people talking about on the old Reddits that they're not particularly big on Karma at the moment as a primary carry.
Absolutely not. The main issue with Karma, and by the way, Karma wasn't the thing that did everything there. I believe that all the damage essentially was done by the Riven. The issue with Karma, and that everyone has, is because Karma does a lot of splash damage, right? But she doesn't do a lot of burst damage nukes to front lines. And so she doesn't kill front lines swiftly as a carry, and that's very important for your backline carry to do, because that makes it so your front line gets to their backline, then that's how you win fights in teamfight tactics right now.
That makes sense.
And so Karma right now is in a horrible position because her splash damage does not do that much damage. Like, it does a lot of damage spread out, but do you get what I'm saying?
No, sure, that
So
makes sense. Let's just bring back to Stybix specifically for a second there, because they are on the edge of elimination. Mr. Ducker, of course, we saw them getting knocked out before, and Micah is gone as well. Stybix is down to 2 health, while they've got themselves a shiny new Kale carry with 3 items and some
Why'd they
redeems.
why they take out the sell? You gotta place these items quick.
Alright, just got her in time, so we've got a Garen carry with the decent amount of tankiness and damage as well.
The main carry right now is the Kale. Is the front line going to last long enough? But they're all 1-stars in the front line, and the Kale is not going to have enough time to boost up.
Oh, Stybix is out of there!
Yeah, that was a big issue. They tried to do a massive transfer last take, and that was not a good idea. I think in that position, what they should have done is position their rel to the far right, instead of in the center, to make it so it's guaranteed to give the stun and hopefully have less chance of instantly dying, to make it so the ultimate came out, to make it so the stun and the shields go out for the carries, but I don't know if that would have saved them either way. Right now, Mythical is looking fantastic. Mythical is looking absolutely terrifying.
And those are some really nice items as well for the Radiant Thieves gloves there. The Trap Claw and the Spear. I mean, even the Trap Claw by itself would be absolutely fine, but getting the quicker casts off as well. Pretty spicy.
Honestly, if it wasn't a Trap Claw and it ended up being a Morello, I think their team would have been dead already. Morello onto... Yeah, oh my gall. Oh my. That Aurelia actually doing incredible work right there.
That's Records doing that. So we're down to our
Yeah,
top
Records Aurelia. Is Record streaming right now? Can we check that view?
4. Let's see. Oh yes, of course we can. They were who we started with. Let's see what they're up to. So there we go. The front line Aurelia with 3 items.
And kept the Nidalee with these items. That's interesting. I feel like Nidalee does not prosper with these items. Of course, she's going to do a ton of damage, but she has no regen for herself when she's going point blank on a team. So I feel like that's going to be a big downfall.
Yeah, those items on Nidalee seem very, very distinctly to be Draven items, but I guess
that's what I was saying, right? That's what I said early game. That's why I said, like, the moment I saw those 2 items, like, this has to be a Draven curve, and they never pivoted to Draven.
So, it's a bit unfortunate. Last Whisper, very much not. I guess that's the thing with the design.
This is an interesting pivot. This is an interesting pivot, but there's no Ranger. There's no Ranger, and they need the attack speed.
Yeah, they're gonna have to...
Why are they positioning like this? Why are they positioning?
They've got the Seeks to get some attack speed, but I don't think they're going to use it.
Right? Like, what? Why are they positioning like this? Like, I don't know why they're doing this pyramid scheme.
Well, normally it's going to be there to protect a Heimerdinger or similar, but Akshan, as you see, it refuses to stay put for more than a couple of seconds at a time.
Okay. The Akshan's doing fantastic, of course. Like, absolutely great. Like these items on Akshan is actually, like, terrifyingly strong. Yeah, that's 8,000 damage dealt.
Wow.
8.5. Fantastic. But I still think this positioning is just weird. I don't know why this positioning exists. They have a 3-star cannon on the shelf with 2 items. Like, please. Do something. Like, what, you're scared?
Let's see. So what
Thank you. Like, I was gonna say, like, please get the jacks out. You still get 3 skirmisher. Yeah, you. Wait, they just hovered Reforger. They just almost hovered Reforger over.
Wreck-It knows how to show us a good time.
Don't do it.
Alright, so this is up against one of the ghosts. So we've got the. It looks like it's Jack's carry composition with a pretty strong Galio in the middle. But
huge hook on the Akshan. Akshan got hooked, and that is
twice.
Really rough. Oh, another hook on Akshan. That's 2 hooks on Akshan.
It's going to be pretty tight here. The Akshan still stays alive.
Yeah, this is close. This is very close. This is very close. Akshan has no regen, though. Yeah. Dead.
Oof.
Exit game leaves?
Wow. Got places to be, I suppose. Oh no, offline. Oh dear. Well. We're all done.
Instantly end stream. Seems mad.
Hey, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's see if we can jump across to... I believe the other lobby has... We've got at least our point of view for the lobby, so let's... see if Flinny is still streaming, if the game's still going. Alright, looks like it is. So we've caught the very end of this game, so I think it's actually going to be 2 randoms against each other. That's unfortunate. But hey, what do you think of these comps?
Oh, one moment.
Alright, so we've got the Jaren with the interesting setup there with the Bane. I kind of like that. I'm not sure if it's the most optimal, but still, the Tyson result didn't make too much of a difference about whether or not they lived or died at the end, but it's an interesting idea. It's only gotten to 2nd place, and hey.
Instant game's over by the time I join in.
Yeah. Oh well.
3-star Aurelia seems strong, though. 3-star tank Aurelia seems strong there.
Yes, very, very much so. And it was actually a Dawnbringer Aurelia as well. Jeez.
Wait, oh really? Oh, I thought that was a GA for a second. You're right, that's Dawnbringer. Oh, that's cheeky. That's really nice.
Nils' comp there really looks like it's supposed to be a 3-star Riven and a 3-star Nidalee comp, but it just never worked out that way.
And then just slaps Dawnbringer on the Aurelia with the oh my, that's so good.
That's so good, actually.
All right, so we need to get on to the prizes for today. So as you can see on the screen, it's a little Legends egg for the first place, and a little Legends egg at random for amongst everybody else. So we will do those a little bit later on, because we're going to first of all make sure that we've got everything sorted out for the RP giveaways. So I think we've got all of our lobbies done. Let's see, I'm going to do the final message here. So can everyone come to my stream? And let's make sure we've got everyone. React. So today we are going to be giving away, as before, thanks to the generosity of Rix.gg, the RP prizes. And also, yes, let's get the feedback form for today. So there'll also be a giveaway which is exclusively for people who fill out the feedback form. Hurrah! So I'll get that sorted out now. Should have sorted that out between rounds, but I completely forgot about it. Alright, so let's make sure we've got everyone in. Oh, Mr. Duck ran duck mode. Slick, have you ever tried out duck mode yourself? Oh, you are muted, Slick, in case you are still here. Alright, guess not. So in that case, let's get the names of everybody who took part in... Let's say all the people who made it to round 2. So this first one will be for the random RP giveaway. So I believe this is everybody. The reason I ask everyone to come to the stream is just to make sure that nobody gets missed. But if they have, then it's too late. Alright, let's see who gets the RP prize. Thank Faye, thank you for the follow. That's very kind of you. It looks like MFLN will be our random RP prize winner. Oh, you can't see the wheel. Oh, I do apologize. There we go. So, MFLN winning out the random RP. Apologies for that, guys. Oh, doing too much stuff at once. Let's see how we are doing on... Okay, need to do a little bit of results input here to determine who is our final winner. Oh, okay. Okay, let's do the... Ooh. I'll tell you what. I think we're going to need to do a little bit of processing on the results afterwards. So what we'll do is I'll tag everyone as it comes in. as to what's going on. So this is the random RP giveaway. Let's also go for the people who were streamers today. So all of these folks here. Leaving, unfortunately, we need to get some bits and pieces sorted out with the final standing, so we'll announce those in a little bit. But for our streamer prize, that is going to be, who is that? Stybix! Thank you, Stybix. We'll do the draw for the feedback form stuff up a little bit after the tournament is done, because I forgot to get it set up ahead of time. So please do, I'll drop the link in the chat as well. Please do fill out the feedback form, and I'll draw for an RP prize one of them. Oh, hello. Alright, and let's do the random little legend egg winner, because that's one we can do right now. So let's grab everybody else's names again. From round 2. So this will be for a little legend egg. That's the participation prize. Oh no, sorry, the little legend egg code actually. It's Mythical Talon. Congratulations, Mythical Talon.
Congratulations, Mythical.
Hey, there you are. Right. So let's see. Who have we got left? What have we got left on the prizes to distribute? So we've got the survey and first place. Okay, so we'll sort those out in a little bit. So still need to process through all the results from all the rounds to get that first place sorted out. And the survey is only just gone out, so I need to wait for people to do that. So I will tag whoever wins that in general discussion. Let's say in about half an hour or so, and probably the first place winner as well. For now though, well, Slick, thank you for coming along and helping out today. Is there a Twitch streamer, you can include yourself in this of course, who you think we should send the stream to from here?
I mean, is Blob casting right now? I mean, is Blob streaming right now?
I don't think so. No, wait! I am incorrect.
I believe she is.
She is! Blob TFT. Alright, let's make sure I got that incorrectly. In that case, then let's head across to multi-time Counters Casual Competition winner and star of such shows as, I believe, some Twitch rivals and stuff as well. Pretty impressive stuff. Let's go hang out with Improbable Blob TFT. They're streaming right now. They've got not enough lighting, so they look very sinister. But hopefully...
Thank you everyone for participating in Counterfeit's tournament. Let's keep these things going.
Yeah! Alright, everyone. So again, I'll announce the first place winner and the prize for providing feedback, randomly chosen from them, in around half an hour or so. But let's go hang out with Blob and see how they're doing. All right.
Oh, Counterfeit with a raid. Thank you, Counterfeit.
Only one curse word. I think I did good.
You did good, yeah.
But no, it was fun.
Hey, April,
I'll have
how was the
to
tournament?
keep my words again
I know obviously
close to the chest. But no,